Have you ever found yourself wondering why some landing pages seem to effortlessly convert visitors into clients while others just don't seem to gain any traction? Well, here's the thing. It's often not as complicated as it seems. The secret to a high converting landing page isn't flashy graphics or pages filled with information. In fact, the key is usually much simpler: clarity and simplicity. When you get those two things right, you can create a landing page that does exactly what it's supposed to do: convert. A focus page with one clear call to action can be the difference between a visitor bouncing off your site or sticking around long enough to become a customer. Hi everyone, my name is Steve Black and I'm the founder of Content for Coaches. Today I'm going to break down the key elements that make a landing page successful. We'll talk about how to structure it for maximum impact and go over some simple tweaks you can make today that will get you better results. But first, let's start with the basics. What exactly makes a landing page high converting? A landing page is a standalone web page and its sole purpose is to achieve a single goal. Whether it's getting visitors to sign up for a newsletter, download a free guide, a book, or a consultation, a good landing page has a singular focus. This is different from the homepage of your website, which often serves multiple purposes. Here, you're narrowing down the options and guiding your visitors towards one specific action. And why does that focus matter so much? Well, first, it eliminates distractions. When your landing page only has one thing to focus on, visitors aren't pulling in a million different directions. The fewer distractions, the more likely they are to take the action you want them to take. Second, it provides clarity. When people land on your page, they should immediately understand what you want them to do and why they should do it. When the message is clear, visitors are much more likely to convert. Finally, a strong landing page guides visitors to make a decision. With a clear call to action, you're leading them down a path that results in a conversion, whether that's making a purchase, signing up for a service, or downloading something you're offering if they're your ideal customer. Now, by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to create a landing page that doesn't just look good, but one that actually converts. Let's get started. Keep the focus. Let's talk about something I see quite often when businesses create landing pages: trying to do too much at once. Now, I get it. When you've got visitors on your page, you want them to do everything, right? You want them to sign up for your newsletter as well as download that free guide and follow you on social media, maybe even buy something. But here's the reality. If you're asking them to take multiple actions, you're likely confusing them. And when people are confused, well, they just leave. It's that simple. A good landing page does one thing and it does it well. The goal should be crystal clear. In fact, everything on that page should be designed to guide visitors towards taking one simple action. That means cutting out the clutter, focusing on what really matters. The headline, the description, the call to action, these all work together like a well-oiled machine to drive people to do that one thing you need them to do. So let's break it down. First, there's your headline. And this is the first thing that visitors see. It's got to be clear and direct. Don't be vague. No one wants to figure out what you mean by grow your business today. Instead, try something like get a free 30-minute business growth consultation. It's much clearer and it tells them exactly what they're going to get if they stick around. Next, you need a simple description. This is where you explain in just a few sentences why they should take action. And again, keep it short and to the point. Don't overwhelm them with details, just enough to spark their interest. Something like, sign up for a free 30-minute consultation and discover how to boost your sales by 20% in just 6 months. This offer is phrased so they can easily see what you're delivering. Then you have your call to action, or CTA. This is the part where you're actually asking them to do something. Make it stand out, bold, bright, and impossible to miss. It could be a button that says download your free guide or schedule your free call. Whatever it is, it should be clear and direct, leaving no question about what's going to happen when they click that button. Now here's the tricky part for some. No unnecessary links. You don't want anything else on that page that's going to distract them from the action you want them to take, which is clicking that button. The minute you give them another link to another page or a blog post or your social media profile, you've lost their focus. Keep their attention where it belongs, on that one action. And when you keep it focused, you'll see much better results. It's not about asking visitors to do everything, it's about guiding them toward doing that one right thing, the one thing you want them to do. Writing a high converting headline and crafting a strong call to action. These are the two most important parts or the elements of any landing page: the headline and the call to action. These are the pieces that grab attention, spark interest, and ultimately drive conversions. Get these right, and you're well on your way to a high converting landing page. First, the headline. I know there's a temptation to be clever or witty, but this is not the place for that. The headline is where you need to be clear, direct, and benefit focused. At a glance, your visitors should know exactly what they'll get by taking action. Think about it. People don't have time to decipher your intentions. They need to know right away how this is going to help them. So how do you write a strong headline? Here are a few things to keep in mind. Focus on the benefit. What will your visitor gain by sticking around and taking action? Whether you're helping them solve a problem or offering something valuable, make sure the benefit is front and center. For example, instead of saying something generic like improve your business, try boost your productivity with our free time management guide. It's specific and it highlights what's in it for them. Next, keep it short. Your headline should be concise and to the point. You want your visitors to grasp it immediately, so aim for something that's no longer than 10 to 12 words. This forces you to focus on what really matters and cuts out the fluff. And most importantly, make it clear. Don't use vague or complicated language. The headline should be instantly understandable. Let's say you're offering a consultation. Instead of something like maximize your growth potential, a better headline would be get your free consultation to increase business revenue. It's clear, actionable, and benefit driven. Once you've nailed the headline, the next critical piece is your call to action or CTA. Think of the CTA as the bridge between a visitor's interest and an actual conversion. If your CTA is weak or unclear, visitors might hesitate, and once they hesitate, you've probably lost them. So how do you craft a strong CTA? First, use action-oriented language. Your CTA should tell visitors exactly what to do in clear, direct terms. Verbs like download, get, book, sign up work really well because they prompt immediate action. For example, instead of a button that says submit, something like download your free guide or book your free consultation now is far more compelling. Next, highlight the benefit in your CTA. It's not enough to just tell them to take action. You want to remind them why. So instead of just saying submit, try something like get your free ebook. It reinforces the value of the action and keeps them motivated to follow through. Another thing, make your CTA stand out visually. It should be one of the most prominent elements on the page. Use colors that contrast with the rest of your design. Make sure the button is large enough to be clicked easily, especially on mobile devices. If people can't see or interact with the CTA easily, you're leaving conversions on the table. Finally, keep it simple. Don't ask for too much information up front. If you're requiring visitors to fill out a form, keep it short. Just a name and email address is often enough at this stage. Asking for too much too soon can make people hesitate and abandon the page altogether. By focusing on these two elements, you'll be setting up your landing page for success, and you'll start seeing more of those visitors turn into leads. Now, when it comes to landing pages, there's one golden rule. Less is more. It's easy to think that more information, more visuals, or more options will somehow entice visitors, but in reality, a cluttered or overly complicated page often does the opposite. When visitors are overwhelmed or confused, they tend to do one thing: they leave. And once they're gone, they're unlikely to come back. Simplicity is key. A well-designed, minimalist landing page allows visitors to quickly understand what you're offering and feel confident taking the next step. You don't want them sifting through paragraphs of text or being distracted by unnecessary visuals. You want them focused on that one action you're asking them to take. So how do you keep it simple and still get your message across? First, limit the text. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people trying to explain everything in detail right there on the landing page. But here's the truth. Most visitors aren't going to read long boxes of text. They're skimming, looking for the highlights. Your job is to give them just enough information to understand what you're offering and why it's valuable. Keep it short and to the point. Hit the highlights and trust that less is more. Next, use white space, and use it generously. White space, or the empty space between elements on the page, is what gives your landing page that clean, uncluttered feel. It's like a breath of fresh air for your visitors. Too many elements packed into a small space can feel overwhelming. Instead, let the page breathe. Leave space around your text, your images, and your buttons. This not only makes the page look better, but it also helps direct attention to what really matters. Again, the action you want them to take. Then there's the image and the graphics. Yes, visuals can enhance a landing page, but only if they're used intentionally. Don't throw in pictures or graphics just because they think it'll look good. Every image should have a purpose. Too many visuals can end up distracting from your main message. A well-chosen image or two that directly supports the offer is more effective than a clutter of unrelated visuals. Keep it simple and make sure everything on the page has a reason to be there. The overall design should be clear and intuitive. You want the layout to guide visitors naturally from the headline to the call to action. This is where a clean design with logical flow comes into play. Use fonts that are easy to read. Make sure the call to action button is big enough to click, especially on mobile, and keep the structure of the page simple. The easier it is for visitors to navigate, the more likely they are to convert. When it comes to landing pages, simplicity isn't just a design choice, it's a strategy. The more you simplify it, the easier it is for your visitors to understand your offer and take the action you want them to take. Now, once your landing page is up and running, your work isn't done. Now comes the important part, testing and optimizing. The reality is even small changes can make a big difference in how well your landing page converts, whether it's tweaking the headline, adjusting the color of the call to action button, or even simplifying the copy. These little adjustments can have a surprisingly large impact on your results. One of the most powerful tools you can use in this process is what's called A/B testing. It's a simple concept, but incredibly effective. With A/B testing, you can create two versions of your landing page, each with a slight variation. It could be something as simple as a different headline or a new call to action button. You can then run both versions against each other and see which one performs better. It's a great way to get concrete data on what's working and what isn't without relying on guesswork. So what should you be testing? Here are a few elements worth experimenting with. First, test headlines. The headline is the first thing visitors see, and sometimes even a small tweak can make a big difference. Try testing different formats. One that's benefit driven versus one that's more straightforward. You might be surprised at what grabs your audience's attention. Next, test this call to action. This is where you'll be asking visitors to take action, so it's critical to get it right. You can try different phrases and see what resonates best with the audience. For instance, get started now might work better for some, while download free guide could perform better for others. The right wording can make all the difference. You should also look at the length of your forms. Form length can have a big impact on whether visitors actually complete the action. And you can test a shorter form that only asks for essential information, like a name and an email address, against a longer form that asks for more details. Sometimes asking for less upfront can lead to higher conversions, but in other cases, gathering more information could be useful, depending on the quality of the leads. And another thing to test is your visuals. This is where it can get interesting. Sometimes having more images on the page can boost engagement, but in other cases, simplicity might win out. Try testing a version of your page with fewer images, or perhaps different ones, to see if that impacts conversion rates. Remember, every element on the page should support the main goal. If visuals are distracting or overwhelming, it's time to rethink them. Optimization really isn't a one-time thing. It's a process. By consistently testing and refining your landing page, you'll see better results over time. It's about continuously learning what works for your audience and using that knowledge to keep improving your conversion rates. And the best part? You'll be able to make data-driven decisions, giving you the confidence that every change is moving you closer to your goals. At the end of the day, creating a high-converting landing page is about keeping things clear, simple, and focused. You don't need fancy graphics or pages filled with endless information. What you need is a landing page that eliminates distractions and guides visitors toward one singular action. That's how you drive conversions. Whether it's getting someone to sign up for a newsletter, download a guide, or book a consultation, the goal is always the same. Make it easy for them to say yes. And you do that by speaking directly to their needs, offering a clear solution and making the next step as simple as possible. Remember, a strong headline, a compelling call to action, and a clean minimalist design can turn your landing page into a powerful tool for growing your business. It's not about overwhelming your audience with options, but about focusing their attention on the one action that matters most. So, here's what you should do next. If you already have a landing page up, spend some time refining it. Test out new variations, simplify where you can, and make sure the experience for your visitors is seamless. With just a few small tweaks, you're likely to see big improvements in your conversion rates, and in the long run, that's going to make a real difference to your bottom line. If you're working on your first, then use this guide to make sure you give your landing page the best chance it has to do its work. Simplicity really does drive conversions, and the more you focus on that, the more results you'll see. This is Steve Black with Content for Coaches. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell to get notifications when we drop new videos. Thanks for watching.